Hello, everybody. Today I am talking to Brett, the Hoosier Carnivore, and thanks for being here.
Hey, it's
Uh,
my pleasure.
Great, awesome. Why don't we start with you telling us a little bit about yourself, like what you do, who you are, and then we can get into why you started Carnivore.
All right, my name's Brett. I'm the Hoosier Carnivore. I'm located in central Indiana, and that's kind of how I came up with the name for the channel, because Hoosiers are people that are born in Indiana. Um, you can Google that to see what Hoosier is. Most people don't know, but I thought it was a good name for the channel. It kind of lets people know, kind of where I am, and I don't know. Just thought it was a good name for a channel. Um, I'm going to be 54 years old tomorrow. Um, I'm a recovering type 2 diabetic with high blood pressure and, all the typical aches and pains and things that men get, in our 40s and 50s when we've been eating just a horrible diet for decades. And years back, about 5 or 6 years ago, I did keto and had some success, lost some weight, started correcting my things. But, it was the time when all those new keto products and all these companies started getting on the bandwagon, coming out with keto cookies and shakes and all these different sweet treats. Well, of course, I bought all of them because I thought, hey, these people are trying to help us on our journey. These products are going to be good to have on our, so we're not suffering. So naturally, those sweet treats kind of took me on the wrong path down. Basically, it led to me, I don't know, it re-fired up my sugar addiction that I'd pretty much gotten
Mm.
over. And I didn't even really realize that I had a sugar addiction. But having all those sweet treats kind of fired that back up, and it just led to having the real thing again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think a lot of us have experienced that in the past. And, you know, and over the next couple of years, I started gaining my weight back. I kind of kept thinking that I was doing something right by continuing to eat kind of keto, but I was also cheating in between. So I know it wasn't really helping me. But for some reason, I just couldn't get my brain to not want the Doritos and the sweet treats and things. So finally, March 17th of this year on St. Patrick's Day, I'd had enough and I knew about carnivore, so I decided to give it a try, and I haven't looked back since. Um,
Wow. So we're like newborns because I started around March 1st.
oh, okay, great. I know Kerry from Homestead How he started about the same time too.
That's amazing that we all kind of like hive minded it and started
Yeah.
started. so so you've been doing this almost 9 months. What changes, like you mentioned diabetes, what happened there? How is that
So originally,
improved?
I got my diagnosis for type 2 diabetes probably 10 years ago.
Wow.
And, of course, my doctor didn't really explain to me what it was, and I didn't know. I didn't have any idea really what it was. She just said, your blood sugars are high and to take these pills. And I thought, okay, well, I'll do that. And she said, well, you take these pills and they'll help you lose weight and maybe get this under control. So I thought maybe taking these pills was going to lead to the cure. It was going to be more than just a band-aid or more than what it was. Well,
Right.
after a few years, I actually put on some weight, and you know, almost made it feel like it was my fault for gaining weight or not being able to lose weight. And then I started looking into keto and carnivore. I found Dr. Berg. He was the big, huge keto guy. I found My Carnivore Life with Kelly Hogan. I really liked her videos and was watching some of those, and that's when I started doing keto.
Okay.
But you know,
But like, has your blood sugars changed? How's the reversal of the diabetes going?
so yeah, when I was doing keto, it was getting better. It wasn't perfect, but now that I'm doing carnivore, my blood sugars have normalized. Um, they go. I think I'm still a little bit insulin. Um, it's not quite as insulin sensitive as I could be,
Mm-hmm.
because my blood sugar sometimes will go up, and then it takes a while for it to get back down. But it
Yeah.
rarely even goes over like 130 now. So
And what
before it
was
would
it
just
before?
jump
Oh yeah.
way up into the 180s, 200,
Oh wow.
and then it would take forever to get back down. And now it jumps up and then it slowly trickles back down. But I
Okay.
know the longer I do this, the more it's going to heal me. And, you know, one day it's just going to be completely normal again.
That's
So
awesome.
pretty much my type 2 diabetes is I would say it's 95% cured at this point.
Oh wow, great. And so, are you still taking meds? Are you still taking
Oh,
insulin?
no,
No.
no, no. No,
Okay.
I never got to the point where I was going to take insulin. And I
Okay.
guess that's the little scare that I got from my doctor probably at the end of 2022. And I went in for a checkup. And she's
Yeah.
like, if you don't do something, I'm going to have to put you on insulin.
Oh wow.
And I didn't like the sound of that. Um,
Sure. That's
who wants to have to give themselves shots every day? And not
right.
me. So, that's what kind of got me a little scared and lit a fire under me. And I kind of him hawed about it and watched some videos. And then March 17th was my day. I'm like, I got to do something.
Sure.
Um, might as well be today. So,
Right. That's good. Yeah, I think that's where we all get. We're like at wit's end, and we just
yep. And
today's the
today,
day.
and today marks my 9-month anniversary.
Awesome.
Um, So I've been doing it for 9 months, and I've only had one cheat. And it was a cheat that I allowed myself to have on Thanksgiving because my niece makes the best pumpkin pie you've ever had. She even grows her own little pumpkins that you use for baking. And she makes from scratch pumpkin pie every year. So I had some of her pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving.
Nice.
No
I
ill effects.
understand.
Everything was fine.
Yeah.
I noticed at the time, after I had it, I could feel my sugar addiction coming up because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, after we ate, we were playing some board games and doing things, and I had the pumpkin pie. And for the rest of the evening, I was getting up and I was walking around and looking for something to eat. It
Absolutely.
just triggered those cravings. I didn't know what I was craving. I was just craving something.
I
Um,
totally understand. So, from your viewpoint, how his first of all, actually, how do you eat now? What do you
so
eat? How do you eat?
So I fluctuate between a 2 meal a day and a 1 meal a day. Um, Normally, I will skip breakfast. I'll not have anything for breakfast. And then for lunch, I'll have hamburger patties, hard boiled eggs. Sometimes if I'm out on the road, I'll, stop and get, McDonald's quarter pounder patties. I'll
Yeah.
get, whatever I can, sometimes beef sticks or whatever it is, try to be as low carb as I can. And then for dinner, I'll usually grill out. I'll fire up Big Joe and we'll grill steaks. I'll make hamburgers. I'll have salmon. I'll have,
Mm.
all kinds of different things. We'll make chicken wings. You know, Part of what I like to do is I like to cook in all kinds of different ways. I think that makes staying on this diet easier
Sure.
I grill, I sous vide sometimes. I've got an air fryer. I've got a great cast iron skillet collection that I use and cook in all the time. So, having all those different cooking methods and then all the different meats that we enjoy really helps me sustain the diet.
Awesome. That's great. Why do you think, from your viewpoint, eating this way has helped you with sugar addiction?
Oh, the sugar addiction. My sugar addiction was so bad. I could be driving down the road on the highway 70 miles an hour, and then I would see a sign or see a familiar, truck stop or convenience store that I would go to, and I just something would pop in my brain. Oh, you need a snack right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you could go for something. How about let's stop and get some chips, or let's stop and get something, and I wouldn't even really be hungry, and I'd find myself taking that exit, going down the road, and picking up a bag of Doritos and foolishly thinking to myself, well, I'll go ahead and get the big bag because, I can have a bunch of snacks off of that and I won't eat it all at one time. Well, an hour later, the whole bag's gone. So,
I understand.
you
I
know,
understand.
it was like that.
Yeah.
So eating carnivore and getting my insulin levels down, getting my cravings under control, pretty much put a stop to my sugar addiction. And having the pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving was a
Yeah.
reminder of how easily that sugar addiction can come back.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have to stay aware of it and focused on it, and just keep that in my mind all the time that, hey, you eat something sweet and then, you're going to be raiding the fridge. You're going to be
Mm-hmm.
going through the pantry. You're going to be looking for things. And I really can't have that because, you know, I'm a father and a husband, and not everyone in my house does carnivore. And
Right.
there are sweet treats and cereals and crackers and snacks in my house. So I have to make a conscious effort to ride my own ride and do my own thing and stay away from all those things.
That's great. Yeah, I understand. And I guess I have less willpower because I don't have those things in my house.
Yeah,
So like we have usually we have fruit for our kids, but if they want like something like that, we walk 3 blocks to the store to get something for them. So it's not in the
yeah,
house. And I thought my willpower was pretty good until I went home recently, and no, those things were available to me and it was like a slippery slope. So
yep,
if you're like me and don't have your willpower, just don't have it in your house. But my kids are young enough to, you know, I guess
yeah,
they're young enough to not need those things in the house. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's not, they're not like 13, 14, they're 5 and 7. So there
right.
you go.
Dr. Barry said in a video recently about, putting your big boy pants on and being an adult. And
Yeah.
I try to keep that in my mind as those snacks and things, those are for other people. Those aren't for
Right.
me.
Right.
Um, so, you know,
Yeah, I
it's a
understand.
help. It,
You mentioned high blood pressure.
mhm.
So do you still have high blood pressure or has that changed with this way of eating?
I have a kind of a borderline high blood pressure still.
Okay.
It's not where I would be. It'd be high enough to where I'd have to be on medication, but the doctor is like aware of it.
Okay.
So it used to be a lot higher, and I was on blood pressure medication, but now I don't need to be on it. But it's still on the radar.
Okay, I understand. But
Yep,
it's improved.
it's improved. Yep,
Okay. Okay.
yep. And along with my eyesight has improved a little bit too. I had an eye exam a
Great.
couple months ago, and the optometrist commented that those are the best 53-year-old eyes he'd seen walk in a long time. So,
Wow. That's
so yeah, it
great.
was a nice compliment,
Yeah.
and my eyes are probably as almost as good as they've ever been. So
Great. Well, I hope my eyesight improves.
yeah, have you had glasses a long time?
Since I was 18, so like 22 years, maybe
Okay.
20 years. Yeah. Anyways, but that's not a problem. I like the glasses is probably why.
They suit you.
Oh, thank you. Um, so have you lost any weight?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
at my heaviest, I was almost 300 pounds. I think I probably hit that 300-pound marker. And that was probably around the first of the year
Wow.
when I was at my heaviest. And now I weighed this morning and I was 240.
Oh, that's great. So you lost
So,
60 pounds.
so 60 pounds since my heaviest. Still got a ways to go. I'd like to get down into the 180 range, I
Okay.
think is what I'm going to shoot for. And we'll just reevaluate from there. If I want
Right.
to try to lose a little more, I've always kind of had a heavier build. So I'm
Okay.
thinking that's probably going to be the sweet spot for me.
Okay. How tall
So
are you? I'm just curious.
I'm 5'9".
Oh, okay. It's probably
Yep.
about right. Probably about right, 180-ish.
Yeah,
But
180-ish. My BMI chart says like 175 is my optimal, but
you can't trust those things. It says I need to be like 105 pounds. I'm like, are you kidding me?
right,
No.
not too realistic.
No. I'm not 16 anymore.
Right.
um, okay, so you mentioned aches and pains. Can you get into that a little bit? Like, was it back pain or arthritis or what was that?
I had some joint pain in my knees and in my elbows. I do a lot of fishing competitions, and I'm like casting. It's
Mm,
bass fishing, so we're always casting and reeling and casting and reeling. And I would get aches in my elbows from doing that. And since I've been carnivore, that's been gone. I haven't had any kind of tennis elbow or any kind of real aches and pains or issues. In the mornings, I used to have some aches and pains getting up. I'd sleep on one side or I'd sleep in one position too long and I'd feel stiff.
yeah,
And now my alarm goes off and bam, I'm up and my feet are on the floor and I don't have any trouble getting going in the morning.
that's
So
awesome. I
if
love that.
carnivore is something that can help you with your aches and pains for sure.
That's
Yeah.
great. Um, have you noticed any other like changes in your life or physical or mental?
Well, I've lost a whole shirt size. I went from wearing 2X shirts to 1X shirts. I went from wearing size 44 jeans to size 40, which I'm currently in now, but the 40s are starting to get a little loose. So I'm thinking maybe here in the next couple months, I might slip down into size 38 jeans, which I'm
Oh,
excited about.
that's very
Um,
exciting.
yeah. And I will say for the men out there, if you're having trouble, if you've been eating a crap diet and you're having those typical male issues, and you know what I'm talking about in your 40s and 50s, those male issues get better.
That's good.
Um, as you go on carnivore, I think my testosterone has gone up. I haven't had it measured. I plan to do blood work soon, and I want to have my testosterone measured because I've never had it measured. But I know it's better because other things are better. So that's something you can maybe might be a motivating factor for you.
Nice.
You're on the fence about trying this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not that I meant to ask this question in following that statement, but what does your wife think about you doing carnivore?
She thinks, well, she's used to it now. She
Okay.
thought I was crazy kind of just doing keto
Okay.
before.
Yeah.
Um, and now that I'm doing carnivore, at first she thought, it's not healthy. She, the typical mindset that people
Sure.
have, growing up in the 80s and 90s, and we've
Hmm.
been told that, low fat diets are the best thing for you. Um, and she thought it was nuts, but the proof's in the pudding,
All
and
right. And there's less pudding
and
now.
yeah, and she can see the benefits,
Sure.
And she's actually started to, watch what she's been eating over the last few months.
That's great.
So she's not doing keto or carnivore. I think she just kind of wants to do her own thing. She
Right.
doesn't want to be, I don't know. She doesn't want me to be her health coach.
I
And I
understand
get
that.
it. So she's doing her own thing and she's having some success, and I'm proud of her. And, I try to encourage her when I can. And I do a lot of the cooking around the house.
Okay.
So, when I have steak, she gets a big steak too. So
Great.
she'll eat like some fruit or something with it on occasion. But yesterday we did really good. I made her eggs for breakfast yesterday, and we ate a bunch of eggs, and she had some sausage. And then she had a big New York strip steak along with my ribeye, and then she had like an apple for dessert afterwards. And I thought that was really good. She did really well.
Nice. I mean, that sounds great. So, like, if you don't have any metabolic issues and you're not eating the Nestle Crunches and the ultra highly processed
Right.
food, that sounds like a perfectly healthy way to eat.
Yeah, and she used to eat some candy, and she's overweight. She's got some weight to lose, but she keeps doing this, and it's all going to turn around for her.
Sure,
So,
absolutely. Great.
yeah.
So, can you tell us a little bit about your channel, what to expect? You mentioned before we start recording your challenge in January. Can we go over that a little bit?
Yeah, so my channel is Hoosier Carnivore on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram at Hoosier Carnivore. Pretty easy to find. If you just do a search, Hoosier Carnivore, you'll see my little icon pop up. Um, my channel is basically documenting my journey, talking about the things that I do to stay on and maintain my weight and the carnivore lifestyle. I love being part of the carnivore community. Get a chance to do things like this and talk about it and spread the word. That's pretty much what my channel is all about. Lately, I've been doing some cooking videos and some how-tos, and I really like doing stuff like that.
Great.
And I like making videos, preaching the carnivore lifestyle, but I also like to do some videos that, aren't only about that.
Okay. Great.
So I did a cooking with cast iron video recently. I did a video I've done videos on making steaks, grilling tomahawks. I
Oh,
came out with a
great.
video yesterday about how I like to make my eggs. So, yep. And
Awesome.
I had a video yesterday about a fasting challenge that we're going to start on January 1st. So if
Nice.
you're interested in doing that, go check out my new video on my channel.
Awesome. And you're I guess we need to watch the video, but are you fasting for like 30 days? Or are you fasting for 24 hours, or what's the challenge?
My fast is a 9-day fast.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So my previous longest fast was 8 days. And I've done several 72-hour, 48-hour, 4 and 5-day fasts. But I've never gone 9 days. And fasting's like a muscle. You have to exercise it.
Okay.
And the more you do it, the easier it is.
Sure.
So I'm a little nervous about going 9 days, but I got this. I know
You
what I'm
got it.
doing. I've done it before. Anyone who wants to join the fasting challenge, you don't have to do 9 days. It's a completely voluntary, do your own length of fast, because we're all on different places in our journey.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to just do 24 hours, that's fine. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 5 days, do what you want. So I would encourage anyone to check that out. And I also want this to be an opportunity for people to get their learn on a little bit.
Okay.
We all need to keep on top of things and learn more about, even if you're not into fasting, maybe you've always had some questions about it. So a lot of the YouTubers I linked on that video have a lot of good videos about fasting. I'm a big fan of fasting, and really the 60 pounds that I've lost, I can credit to fasting probably 80 or 90%.
Great. Nice.
So I'll fast, I'll drop some weight, and then carnivore helps me maintain that.
Okay.
So I'm really looking forward to this fast. I now I do lose weight on carnivore, but it's a much slower trickle
Okay.
than it is when I fast. I'll probably during this 9-day fast, I wouldn't be surprised if I lose at least 10 or 12 pounds in
Wow.
that 9
Wow.
days. And then I'll probably bounce back a couple, which
Sure.
happens when you
Hmm.
refeed. You'll bounce back a couple, and then I'll maintain that for a little while.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay, well, I'll think about joining your fast for at least 24 hours.
yeah, yeah, that's fine. I mean, most of us fast probably 18 hours anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
sure. I feel like
so
I'm maybe 16, 18 a lot of the time. Sometimes
yeah,
not. It just depends, you know.
yeah. And really, the hardest part about it is going all day without eating and then going to bed and getting
Mm-hmm.
over that mental hurdle
Right.
of, gosh, I'm in bed and I haven't eaten all day.
Yeah.
But it'll be fine. You'll get up in the morning and maybe you'll feel like eating, maybe not.
Yeah. This is true. Maybe I'll just drink my coffee.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. How would you, if someone was like on the fence, what would you say to them about how they should go about starting carnivore?
Oh, for starting carnivore, if you're on the fence, first thing I would do, I would say do your homework. You know, watch some videos out there, try to educate yourself. And I would encourage you to just try it. That 60 days, 90 days. And if you don't know what videos to watch, Dr. Ken Berry, I'd
Right.
love for you to say, oh, watch my videos. My videos are the best. Now, just go watch Dr. Berry. He's got a couple great videos on how to start Carnivore 101.
Yeah.
Um, and he will enlighten you on that and just give it a try. I mean, most people like meat anyway. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know
True.
anybody who really doesn't like steak or chicken or salmon or I mean, there's going to be something that you really like. So just give it a try, even if it's just for 30 days. I think you'll be glad that you did. Um, but I would also say once you make that decision to try, document the day so you know when your carniversary is, and set yourself on the path. Say today is the day. I'm going to do this today. So you're not him hawing about it.
Hmm.
You're starting. And I would encourage anyone that's starting, it depends on where you're starting from, but assuming you just went and had McDonald's yesterday and you polished off a bag of Doritos while you were watching football, and you've just been on the typical American diet, I would ease yourself into it. Uh, start whittling down those carbs. You know, if you're eating 150, 200 carbs a day, whittle it back to 100 for a couple of
Hmm.
days, and then whittle it back to 50 for a couple of days, and take at least a week and whittle it down and get yourself under 20. Once you get
Great.
under 20 and you maintain that for a week, then if you want to go full carnivore and go to under 5.
Great. Okay. Nice.
Yeah. And
Um,
there's a reason why you want to ease into it. And it's called
sure.
the keto flu and, getting the scoots. Um,
That's a cute way to put it.
some people get it worse than others.
Yeah.
Odds are you will get it. And, it's just your microbiome. And a lot of people think, oh, I'm doing this and now I can't get off the toilet and it's the fault of what I'm eating. Well, it's
Right.
not the fault of what you're eating, it's the fault of what you were eating,
Right.
and now your microbiome is having to reconfigure itself,
Hmm.
and that's just what happens. So
Yeah.
you will get through it, persevere, it will end.
Yeah. It will end.
And you'll get through the looking glass, and hopefully if you're like me, you won't ever look back.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
With that, do you have any parting words you would like to leave?
Well, I would just like to wish everyone, happy holidays, and go into the holidays, New Year's, with a plan. Be responsible. Take care of yourself. Look after your family. Um, if you're considering doing the keto or carnivore diet, give it a try. Get out there and do it. Document your journey. Start a YouTube channel. Hold yourself accountable. Um, yeah,
Awesome.
there's so many inspiring things that I can say. Um, and if you're like me, I'm not anyone who's special. I'm not getting over, a 600-pound hurdle like some people are having really, really severe health or mental problems or cancer or anything like that. I tell people my story is not special, but I'm the way that I think my story is kind of special is I'm like probably 80% of the unhealthy Americans out there.
Mm-hmm.
I ate a crap diet. I got type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure and achy joints. And, I did something about it. And
Right.
there's so many people out there with these health issues. We see them every day, everywhere we go. And I'm sure even where you are, you see those people too.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just like us, and they just need the message. And that's what my channels and what I do is all about. I want to get the message out there, and be part of this carnivore community and do what I can to help out.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Brett, thank you for your story. Thanks for spending Sunday morning with me. And
Absolutely.
I hope we can help some people together.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you having me on. I
Sure.
I really missed seeing you in Chicago
You
for the
too.
meetup. I was really looking forward to that. So
Oh,
yeah, but
unfortunately, strep throat and two sick kids got in the way.
yeah, I understand. But I'm sure there'll be another time.
There will be, absolutely. My other home base is in the Midwest, so I'm positive it'll happen someday.
All right.
All right, Brett, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.